ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ టూల్స్ నేర్చుకోవడం వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్. కానీ ఇక్కడ పాయింట్ ఏంటి అంటే ఆ టూల్ని ఎలా ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయాలి, ఏ కాన్సెప్ట్లో ఏ టూల్ వస్తుందో కూడా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, సో థియరీతో పాటు ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెంట్ క్లాసెస్తో పాటు ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెంట్ నాలెడ్జ్తో పాటు లెర్నింగ్ ద టూల్స్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. So every class now you are going to learn some different types of tools of artificial intelligence. Okay. Good morning students. Welcome back to our channel Subhashini at the Tech Guide. మనము ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ క్లాసెస్ చూస్తున్నాం కదా. As a part of today, we are learning about the branches, agents and some searching techniques of artificial intelligence. Okay. ఓన్లీ థియరీ నేర్చుకుంటే సరిపోదు కదా. సో ఇవాళ క్లాస్ నుంచి ప్రతి క్లాస్లో మీకు కొన్ని టూల్స్ కూడా నేర్పిస్తాను. హౌ టు ఇన్స్టాల్ దట్ టూల్, హౌ కెన్ వి వర్క్ ఆన్ దట్ టూల్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ కూడా నేర్చుకుందాం. ఓకే, బట్ ఇంకొక విషయం, టూల్స్ ఒకటే నేర్చుకుంటే కూడా సరిపోదు, థియరీ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎందుకంటే ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ మనం ఏదైతే ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తాం, అంటే క్వశ్చన్ ఇస్తే ఆన్సర్ మనకి ఆటోమేటిక్గా మొత్తం జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది. సపోజ్ మీరు ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ ఇస్తే కోడ్ అంతా కూడా మీకు జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది. కోడ్ అంతా ఒక్కసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ చేసే టైంలో సపోజ్ ఒక చిన్న బగ్ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, హౌ టు రిమూవ్, థియరీ నేర్చుకుంటేగా తెలుస్తుంది. సో థియరీ ఈజ్ మస్ట్ వైల్ లెర్నింగ్ ద ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ టూల్స్. ఓకే, నౌ వితౌట్ ఎనీ డిలే లెట్ us start the class. As a part of today's class, let us start AI tools first, okay?
There are many AI platforms that can help us to do anything new. For example, let's take ChatGPT. So as we're looking here, we are here on Google searching for ChatGPT. So you just have to type on ChatGPT and scroll down and open this. So as we are looking here, we can get access to ChatGPT now. So basically, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT helps us in doing anything and after opening ChatGPT, you either have two options. You can start asking ChatGPT any questions, or you can also download the app, which it's not needed right now. So let's explore ChatGPT. What can ChatGPT actually do? So ChatGPT helps us write, brainstorm, edit, and explore anything we want, and also summarize any meeting or any video if you want to. And it also helps you generate a code by using anything. Or if you want to learn about something, like learn more about your hobby, you can also ask ChatGPT, and it will help you through it'll also help you through giving you more detailed explanations about what you can do to your hobby. Next, if you also explore more features in ChatGPT, there's a feature where you can talk and also use it with voice. Actually, you can type, you can talk, or use it in any way you want to. Or you can also add an extension to the web and use ChatGPT while using any other website too, like while using YouTube, while using Chrome, while using any other search engines. And there's also a very great feature about collaborating and writing the code. Like it helps you collaborate and also helps you while writing codes. Like it can assist you while you're stuck at something, while making any code or stuff like that. It also helps you analyze data and create charts. Like if you ask something ChatGPT to analyze it for you, it will do it for you. And it can also help you describe a picture. For example, right over here we have a cycle, and it's asking how to lower the bike seat. It will give you a very detailed information how to do it. Next, it also helps you tackle hard problems with deep reasoning. Like if you are stuck with any very hard questions, like which needs reasoning and you couldn't understand what the question was saying, it will help you by giving you very deep, like very good reasoning how you can tackle the question. And it also helps you create images. As we know, this Ghibli trend, which is getting very famous these days, can also be done by using ChatGPT. Like you can ask something that I want to change this particular photo into something. It'll help you do that. And next, it also helps you add into the extensions like Apple and any other stuff. Like if you have an iOS and you want to add ChatGPT into it, you can do that. Or we can also have an access to ChatGPT Premium, where you just have to pay something. But also, you can also use ChatGPT by logging in. If you have any ChatGPT options, like login options, you can do that. Or you can try doing it. But now I'm opening ChatGPT. You can either log in or sign up. If you have a ChatGPT account, you can log in or you can sign up. For now, we're gonna try it first. Okay, we can either log in, sign up, or stay logged out. For now, we're gonna stay logged out. For example, let me ask how to cook biryani. So after asking how to cook biryani, it helps you give the ingredients and also the portions you can use while doing it. And it gives you basically the whole process of making a biryani. Or if you also want a vegetarian version, which I've asked, it also has given me the ingredients and stuff what to do when I want to cook a vegetarian biryani. And actually, there's a very cool feature in ChatGPT, like voice. So it has many voice options, like here you can say cheerful and candid. So there are many voice options where you can have very good interaction with ChatGPT. I mean, if you are very lazy to type today and you want to ask ChatGPT something, you can try voice mode and it has very many good options, like where it has cheerful, composing direct, very whatever, very sounds. It depends on what you choose and you can also do that. So if for that you need to log in. So if we try to log in, you just have to open. Okay. You can either log in or you can just sign up. I'm signing up for now. Let's. So you just have to do that, then continue. And there for now, I'm just doing birthday. Okay. And okay, there you go. You just made an account in ChatGPT and you can do whatever you want. And it's asking me to try the advanced voice mode, which you can also do. And for now, so these are the cool features of ChatGPT. And ChatGPT basically helps you work with whatever you are stuck with, and also helps. It's a great companion when you are very tired to learn something. If you want some review over some lectures on very tired to read it, you can use ChatGPT. ChatGPT helps you with many other things. So these are the very cool features of ChatGPT. Let's move on to the next AI platform.
I will discuss one more AI tool at the end of the class. So as a part of today's class, we are first learning the branches of AI. Okay. What are the different branches we are going to see? So as previously I discussed about the AI, the first one is the neural network. This is one of the branch. Computation is also very important because in the computations, we learn different types of logics. Okay. Fuzzy logic is important. These two concepts are related to computer organization. Okay. So computer organization. See, learning AI tools or learning the artificial intelligence is not so easy. Entire computer world has to be used to design the artificial intelligence. That is very important. That's why the every concept of the computers is involved in the artificial intelligence. Okay. Next one is the cognitive computing. This is also used to write the algorithms, swarm intelligence. Next, machine learning, because you know, as it is a subset of the artificial intelligence. So, machine learning. Next, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, and experts. That is expert systems. These are the basic branches of the artificial intelligence. Okay. Every concept we are going to discuss in deep. Okay. Now the thing is, learning this concept is useful to build some different types of algorithms according to your process. So what you want to make, what you want to develop is useful while you are writing these branches of artificial intelligence. Okay. Now let us discuss in deep regarding the branches of artificial intelligence. At first, let us discuss about the machine learning. So machine learning is very important to build the artificial intelligence because it is used to learn to build the data without explicit programming. And even in the machine learning, you need to enable the machines to enhance their performance continuously based on analyzing patterns and some algorithms. So machine learning is must. That is, machine learning is considered as a subset of the artificial intelligence as we discussed before. So this is very crucial branches of the artificial intelligence. We can say that it is a crucial branch of artificial intelligence. Okay. Now, the approach of the machine learning is to train recommendation systems. So, mission algorithms are also used for the various applications involving the image recognition, spam filterings, and natural language processing. The special feature of the machine learning is to develop the image recognitions, spam filterings, and language processing systems. Okay. Now, natural language processing, that is called as NLP. You should know the terminology while writing this. Okay, every terminology you need to know, and every abbreviation you should be familiar while discussing about the artificial intelligence. Okay, so NLP is allows to understand about the interpreters, that is interpret and generating the human languages. This NLP is nothing but the languages to develop the artificial intelligence. So, by using the algorithms and the rules, the NLP will analyze the text, speech, and it bridges the gap between humans and the computers. It's nothing but this NLP will behave as a interface between the human and the computers. Okay, that is nothing but a mediator between. We can say it is a mediator between human and computer. Now, the applications like chatbots, voice assistants, and Google translators are maximum used by the natural language processing. Okay. Next, the computer vision. Computer vision is the technology that allows the machines to interrupt the world, and it allows identifying the images and the videos. Okay. This computer vision is majorly an application of object tracking, image classifications, and facial recognitions across various industries. The algorithmic models which are used for the computer vision can differentiate between one image to the another image. That means it can be used to identify the images also. Okay. Maximum this can be used the biotech system also. Okay. And object trackings, even the facial recognitions. Next one is of course robotics. Robotics is used to develop the design programming of robotics or missions which perform the task automatically. So AI is used to make the intelligent robotics which can perform the task similar like a humans. Okay. So some of the major areas of the applications are manufacturing the automations, even the medical robotics, service robotics and space explorations also. Okay. These medical robotics are very useful while applying some vaccines, whether it is works or not. Even while making this different types of treatments using the robotics nowadays, it's become very familiar. Okay. So manufacturing the different types of automations is also very useful while designing these robotics. Okay. And even in the space exploration, this played major role nowadays. Okay. Let us discuss the expert systems. So expert systems is nothing but gaining the knowledge of human experts and the program that knowledge which can be used to develop a systems, which can be used to obtain the knowledge regarding to the system, that is expert systems. Now this makes the systems to ability of decision making and the problem solving. Some of the common applications are medical diagnosis, financial forecasting and troubleshooting systems are the best examples for the expert systems. Okay. We are discussing about the neural networks. Neural networks are used to develop the biological neurons in the human. So these are the special systems which are used to create or to generate the biological neurons as a human brain. Okay. So the technology used is self-driving cars, speech recognitions, image recognitions, automatic mission translations, and many more. These neural networks are very important while designing the biological neurons. Okay. Now, the main challenges are to implement the neural networks of the data and to get the trains for the lot of computational power. So using the computational powers, we can develop the neural networks while developing the biological neurons of a human brain. Nothing but to develop the robotics as a human brain, these neural networks are very important. Okay. Next one is fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logics are to solve the issues or the statements and recognize whether it is true or false. This fuzzy logic is a separate subject which you can learn at the computer organization. Okay. So using this, we can solve many problems and we can recognize whether it is true or false. Next one, this fuzzy logic is also a statement and it can be give the answer either true or false. It gives only the answer as a true or false. The mathematical method of for identifying is decision making and it is used in a wide range of applications like control systems, decision making systems and pattern recognitions. So nowadays, I hope you have seen this pattern recognitions. Okay. So pattern recognitions is best example while you are using the Android mobiles also. The fuzzy logic is the system or it is a branch of AI which is used to develop these pattern systems in the Android mobiles. Okay. Next, evolutionary computation. Evolutionary computation is a branch of AI that makes the biological evolutions by using the algorithms of genetic algorithms, evolutionary programs, evolution strategies, and genetic programs. This is a special computational branch and designed for the biological systems. Okay. Here you learn some algorithms to design all these things. And it involves to create an initial solution for a property, selecting the solutions based on evolution results, and it conducts various operations obtained by the next solution. This is nothing but while creating these analyzations, the algorithms of evolutionary computers, at first if you create one algorithm, it can be extended by the previous one to the next one. Okay, nothing but you can connect from one algorithm to the another algorithm. That operations are very much used in the evolutionary computer. Okay. Next one is the cognitive computing. So cognitive computing is similar to the human that process the computerized model. The key features of this technology are contextual understanding, adaptive learning, and interactive capabilities has been developed by using this branch. The key areas where we can use this cognitive or you can call as cognitive computing are it includes the healthcare diagnostics, financial analysis, and customer services. Okay. Next one is the swarm intelligence. Actually, S is made as silent and it's called as a worm intelligence because just like a worm, how the worm moves like this, right? Like this. So as that, this intelligence, that this branch will absorb entire nature and it is self-organized systems to decentralize the behavior of the branch. Okay. That's why some people will make it as S as silent and it is called as a worm intelligence also. This is used to explain simple agents called complex tasks without centralizing the control or the leader of the artificial intelligence. Okay. Next, we can discuss about AI agents. So I think you have learned about the branches of the AI. So branches of the AI will give the idea for you where and what branch is used according to your necessities or functionalities. Okay. Now let us discuss some different types of agents. So these agents will give you idea where we can develop and what agent will provide the artificial intelligence facilities. So before making the agent, that is before knowing about the agent, suppose this is the agent. So this agent will make the actions and perspectives according to the environment of the artificial intelligence. Even the sensors of the functionalities also noted by the agents. Okay. And the agent will become as an effector while creating the artificial intelligence regarding to the environments. Okay. The agent terminology, because we need to go what terminology is what we have to understand regarding to the artificial intelligence concept. The first one is the performance measure of an agent. That is, it is a criteria which determines how successful the agent is. Okay. Because once you created the tool, the agent has to be perform better. Okay. If we don't perform the better and if won't be successful, no one can use the tool, right? So according to that, the tool will be collapsed. That's why we need to learn the terminologies also. Behavior of the agent is the action that the agent performs after many sequences. So after that is performing, the performance analysis of that agent is also counted. Many sequences, that is, once the agent is created, the agent has to satisfy the user necessities in many aspects. Okay. The perspects means the agent inputs to the given instance. Okay. Perspect sequence means the history of all the agent has been perceived till the date, till today. Next, agent function. It is a map from perspect sequence of an action. See, let me explain you how the agent will become successful. Okay. So, while performing or while creating of the agent, once the agent is created, the criteria has to be in more successful steps. Next, the agent has to be perform entire sequence of the task given by the user. Okay, any task. Okay. Second thing, there should be a sequence between the first task and the second task. It is must. Okay. So the first task may be related to the second task. So the agent has to remember, that is, it has to remember the history of the agent till date, which is perceived by the user. Okay. And the agent function will be in the sequence of actions. That means once the user given the task, every task, it should be maintained in a sequence order. This is the best terminology of the agent. Okay. Now let me explain you again. See, suppose this is the agent and the agent has to censor the every work or every task given by the user. Okay. Let me explain you in our language. Suppose మీరు ఒక agent create చేస్తే that agent మనం ఏదైతే వర్క్ ఇస్తామో ఆ వర్క్ ని పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఆన్సర్ చేయాలి. ఫస్ట్ థింగ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద యాక్షన్. సెకండ్ థింగ్, చాలా ఎఫెక్టివ్ గా వర్క్ చేయాలి. థర్డ్ థింగ్, వెన్ ద ఏజెంట్ పర్ఫార్మ్స్ ద టాస్క్, he has to remember the history of the previous actions. Okay. సో దట్ ఈ యాక్షన్ మేము ఆల్రెడీ పర్ఫామ్ చేసాము. సో హీ హ్యాస్ టు రిమెంబర్ అండ్ అది యాక్షన్ ఫాస్ట్ గా వాళ్ళకి జనరేట్ చేసి ఇవ్వాలి. దట్ మీన్స్ యాక్షన్ గివెన్ మెనీ టైమ్స్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి రిపీటెడ్ బై ద ఏజెంట్. దెన్ ద మెమొరీ పవర్ షుడ్ బి వెరీ పర్ఫెక్ట్ అండ్ ఎఫెక్టివ్. ఓకే. సో ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్ హ్యాస్ టు బి మెయింటైన్డ్ బై ద ఏజెంట్. according to that we measure here అలాగా measure చేస్తారు. So what are the measures of the agents? The performance measure of the agent is counted, behavior of the agent is counted, the perspects, okay, and perspect sequences are counted, even the agent function is also important here. So according to that terminology we discussed. Now the structure of the intelligent agents ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా, similarly now I'm explaining you in the artificial intelligence language, that is in the terminology. Agent structure can be viewed as architecture and plus agent program. So the architecture plus the program, this is the combination of agent. Now what is architecture? Architecture is a machinery that agent executes on. So ఈ architecture అంటే ఏంటి? The machinery which the agent will execute. Okay. Next, what is agent program? And implementation of a agent function. అర్థమైందా now? So at first we discuss what is agent means. Agent, a architecture plus a agent program. Now what is a program? A implementation of the agent function. What is architecture? A machinery that agent will execute. So when will we become the intelligent agent? When we perform a best architecture for the implementation of a agent function. Clear? Now let me discuss about the different types of agents. We are going to discuss now different types of agents. Okay. First let us learn what is agent is. So a agent is a sensor which provides how the world is like now and what the actions the agent has to do according to the conditions and what effectors we need to provide for the environment. These types of agents are called as condition action rule agents. Okay, so these agents will work according to the condition given by the ruler. Okay, that is nothing but given by the user. Okay, now this is the first agent which works on the basis of condition action rule. So once the sensor is created, how the world is like now. So what should we consider? We need to consider about the state. State means what the world at where we are going to be, how the world evolves, and how many actions we need to perform. The actions I need to perform according to the condition and the effector. So these three things are considered how the world is like now in the condition action rule. This is the first agent. Okay. Next, second agent is goal agent. So in this goal agent, what we do is the world, how the world is, of course we have done. Now how many actions are evolved in the actions and what happens to that action. Suppose if we perform action A, okay. So previously what we have discussed, we are discussing the conditional rule. One thing is according to the world, the agent has to perform the rule. So at first the agent will check how the world is like now. Okay. In the second, he will check the state, how the world evolves, how many actions we need to perform according to our condition. Now he will check how many actions we perform and what happens if the action is done. Okay, that is nothing but the goal. Okay, once the action is performed, what is the output? That is what is the implementation of the agent is considered. Now, in next one, what the utilities, that what are the users the action will do. First thing is, once the action is performed, what happens if the action is done is considered. Nothing but our goal. Now, what the agent will do, what are the utilities once he performs these actions. Okay, this has to be counted. So once the agent is created, now the world is done. What happens if the action is done is also considered. What are the actions and what are the utilities provided by the agent is also considered. Next one is what are the actions I need to do. Okay, all these are considered according to the agent. So these are the, I can say, these are the simple functionalities of our agent. Now let us discuss some search algorithms, and very popular search algorithms I am discussing, not the everything, because the algorithms which are used and which are very implemented in the AI I am discussing. These are of course very tough to discuss because this is a data structures, but the knowledge of these algorithms is very important for us to discuss about the time complexity and the space complexity. Okay. Now let us discuss the first algorithm. before going to the algorithm, why these algorithms we will discuss. Let me explain one example. So a single agent path finding problems is the example. This is one example I am considering here. Now, once it is considered, let me explain the game. It is a 3 into 3, 8 tiled and 4 into 4, 15 tile or 5 into 5, 24 tile puzzle is there, suppose. To find the challenges and to find the matrix of the tile is considered. Okay. Now, 3 into 3, we get like, suppose this is my problem, 3 into 3 like this. Okay. Okay. Otherwise, 4 into 4 means we will get the 16. 5 into 5 is 25. But one is for the agent. We are making as agent. One is null. Okay. That is blank tile is considered. That's why 5 into 5 means we get 24. 4 into 4 we will get 15. 3 into 3 is we get the 8 tiles. Okay. One tile is for the blank tile. Okay. Now, the puzzles is considered according to the matrix of the tiles. Okay. The player is required to arrange all the tiles sliding in vertically or horizontally in a band space. So, this is one type of game like this. I will explain 3 by 3 tile. Now, make one empty. Suppose this is empty for me. This is one type of game. And all these are our players. The player has to move to the empty tile. Okay, automatically the player has to move this empty tile. So this type of game is played and which is called as a single agent path finding problem. Okay, so using this we can develop many types of games also. The other examples for single agent path finding is traveling a salesman problem, Rubik cubes and theory proving. Nothing but single agent means only one player will play the game. Okay, and that player will play entire game accepting one blank space. Okay, so these are the some samples. Just I am giving some examples which are called as a single agent path finding problems. The first strategy we are discussing, the such strategy is a brute force strategy. Okay, so here I am discussing about the brute force strategy. This brute force strategy is a simple, but it is not like depending upon a domain. It is, that means no need of any particular domain specific knowledge in this force. It will work as a smaller number of possibility states. So maximum we will do the work depending upon a smaller number of the possibility states. So the requirements will be a state description, some valid operators, initial state, the starting state and the goal state descriptions are necessary in the brute force search strategy. Okay. In the breadth first search is the best example of the data structures. I will explain you clearly. This is a search algorithm. In this, the starting root node explores the neighboring nodes. That is, suppose if you find the root node, it will explore the neighboring nodes. This is neighbor 1. Next, continuity will be there. This is neighbor 2. Okay. The continuity, neighbor 3, like this. But the breadth first search starts from the starting node. That is on the top level. Okay. It generates a tree at a time until the solution is found. So with the generation of the tree, it will find the solution. Next, it is implementing the FIFO queue data structure. FIFO means first in will first out. First in, first out concept is used. Okay. So that we will find the shortest path for the solutions. Done. Next, the branching factor for this is average number of child nodes equals to depth and that equals to the number of nodes. So average will be considered as a breadth plus depth and the levels. Okay, this is considered in the breadth first search. Suppose the total number of nodes created for the worst case will be maximum B, B2 and B3, finally the breadth depth. Okay. The disadvantage of this searching technique is this node is saved creating next one and it consumes lot of memory space while creating. So the space requirement is more while creating the BFS. The complexity depends of number of nodes and how it checks the duplicate nodes. Suppose you consider this one, it starts from suppose 0 started, okay. Next like 2, next like suppose 6, next 5, 4, 3 and 1. Okay, the space will be more while creating these data structures. Done? Depth first search. Depth first search is the another algorithm. It is a recursion algorithm of the LIFO. LIFO is last in, first out. Last in, first out data structure is used. So it creates a set of nodes for the best first method and only in the different orders. All the nodes will be in the single path stored in each iteration from the leaf node in the BFS. Okay, the space requirement will be as a linear. Okay, with branching of the factor b and depth m, the storage space will become as a bm. Suppose while branching, suppose factor considered as a b and depth is considered as a m, then the storage space will be bm. The disadvantage of this algorithm is the algorithm will go infinitely in only one path. The solution to creating the solution, it issues a cutoff depth. Okay, in the BFS it won't cut continuously, it has provided, but in this depth first it will cut the tree. The ideal is cutoff D. If it is chosen as a cutoff lesser, then the algorithm will fail. The chosen cutoff will be more than the execution width increases. Okay. The complexity will depend upon a number of paths and it cannot check a duplicate nodes also. These are the disadvantages of. Suppose if you consider like this, now see 0, if it wants you can go for 1 and for 2 and if necessary it cuts here and go for 4 and 6, 5 and 3. According to the algorithm, according to the cutoffs, this algorithm is considered. This algorithm, suppose I can write like 0, 4, 6, 5. Okay, next we can go for 1 or even it can go like, it can start from the depth, that is 6, 5, okay, 4, next 0, 1, 2 and 3 even. Okay, so according to the number of nodes, this algorithm time complexity and space complexity are considered. The bidirectional search. Bidirectional search means it searches the forward initial stage and backward from the goal stage till both will meet in a identifying a common state. That means the initial state is started here. Suppose it is final, it is also started here. Once it comes and meet in between, then the algorithm will be stopped. Okay, that's why bidirectional, both sides we can search. The path from the initial state is concentrated and the path for initial state is concatenated with the inverse path of a goal state. That is the path from the initial state plus the path from a goal state in reverse order is considered as a bidirectional search. Okay, so let me explain again. The path from the initial stage. Initial stage path will be forward stage like this. Final stage path will be backward like this. Okay. So the concatenation here will consider as a bidirectional search. Each search is only half of the total path. Of course, because by the half of the path, they will concate. That's why the half of the total path is considered as a bidirectional search. Okay. Next is uniform cost search. So sorting is done at first. Here the sorting will be done. Here you can use different types of sortings. Suppose linear sort, you are having different types of sorting techniques. Linear, bubble, quick sort, merge sort, sequential sort. You are having lot of sorting techniques. Sequential sort, insertion sort. But I will tell you the bubble sort and the quick sort are the most efficient sort techniques which can be used to make the uniform cost search. Okay. It always expands the least cost node and it is identical to the BFS for the each transaction with the same cost. Okay. Just like a BFS, uniform cost search will also work. it explores the increasing order of a cast. Okay. The disadvantage of this cast is, that is cast search is, there are multiple long paths. Suppose cast will be less than or equal to the incrementation of the uniform cast. So there will be multiple long paths. According to the user can make any type of long pass. That is most disadvantage of the uniform cast search. Okay. Now let us discuss the iteration deepening. That is depth first search. Uniform cast search is nothing but just like our BFS. So iterative deepening is just like our DFS. It performs the DFS search as a level 1, starts over and executes the complete DFS search at the level 2. Okay. So it continues like that and finally the solution will be found. So the DFS at level 1 start overs executes a number of searches and it continues until you find the solution. Okay. Next, this iteration concepts, every searching concepts I will discuss regarding to the time complexity and space complexity also. So the iterative deepening depth first search will create a node until the lower nodes are generated. Okay. And it only saves the stack of the nodes. What is a stack? Stack will make as a push concept, right? So at first we make the push of the node. Next we make the pop while deleting. Nothing but push concept is to insert the node. Pop concept is to delete the node. So it saves the all stack of the nodes and ends until it finds a solution at the D. Okay. The depth is considered as a D and the number of nodes created by the depth D is BD and the depth D minus 1 is BD minus 1 of course. Like this we perform all the DFS searching techniques. So simply I can say we can go for iterative deepening just like a DFS and next cost as BFS. Okay. This is the DFS searching node. So according to the data, it will provide entire nodes, either any level of the iteration modes. That this is DFS. Okay. DFS of iterative mode. Iterative means generating the same type of node and generating the same type of path many times. That is called as the iterative node. Okay. So entire comparison of the algorithms complexities I am discussing because the algorithms time complexity and space complexity is considered compulsory to generate the best AI tool. Okay. So at first the criterion will be like a time. The that is breadth first search is B power D. Depth first search is B power N. You should know what is B and D. Well, I'm explaining the previously. Okay. While explaining the deeply, I have explained what is B and what is D in it. Bidirectional is B of D by 2 because it is a half of the path. Uniform cast is just like a BFS. That's why B power D. And interactive deepening is B power D also. Okay. Otherwise, you can write like B power M because it is equal to DFS. Next, space complexity is B power D for breadth first. Depth first is B power M. Of course, bidirectional is also B power D by 2. Uniform cast is B power D. And interactive deepening is also B power D. And the optimal testing is also considered for the BFS, bidirectional, uniform and interactive deepening. Okay. But for the DFS, the optimality is not considered. And the completeness of the algorithm is performed in the breadth first. Only for the depth first, the completeness and optimality is not considered. That is very important point while creating the DFS and BFS searching techniques. Okay. Now we are discussing some most important searching strategies which can be developed by the AI tool. Okay. I can say which are very important to develop the AI tool. So to solve the large problems and large number of possibility states, the first searching technique is heuristic searching strategy. Okay. It is used to solve the problem specific knowledge which is used to increase the efficiency of the algorithm. So what I mean to say is the algorithms which we have discussed before, it is a normal data structure algorithms. But for the AI tools, this now whatever we are discussing, these are most important while creating the AI tools. Okay. So first one is informed heuristic search strategy. To solve the large problems with large number of possible states, a problem-specific knowledge is added to increase the efficiency of the search algorithms. Okay. No, the evaluation functions are two states. One is sliding tile games, which is computed by counting number of moves for each tile and makes it goal state. And adding this number, it moves the all tiles. That is to calculate the cost of optimality here. Okay. So to calculate the cost of the optimality between two states, the function of the heuristic is evaluated. Then, so how it is considered? It is considered by sliding the tile games. Okay. So number of moves in the tile games is counted for the heuristic searching technique. Okay. Next one is pure searching techniques. It expands the nodes in order to their heuristic values. It creates two types of lists. One is the closed list, which is already expanded node. And next one is the open list, which is used to create unexpanded nodes. Okay. So in each iteration, the node with the minimum value is expanded to make the child nodes and created and placed in a closed list. Okay. Here, the function is applied to the child nodes and placed in the open list according to the value for getting the nodes. That is, according to moves in the nodes is considered as a open list. Okay. The shortest path is saved and longer will be disposed. That is pure heuristic search technique. Especially the search techniques, the heuristic search techniques are used to generate for the gaming processes. Okay. Next is A-star searching technique. It is a best known as a best first search. It avoids the expanding paths that are already expensive but expands most promising path first. That is A-star searching technique. Okay. The Fn equals to Gn. That is the function equals to Gn. That is the cost of the node and Gn plus the Hn. Hn is estimated cost of the node for the goal. So this is the A-star searching technique formula. So here Fn stands for the estimated cost, total cost path for the n to the goal. Gn stands for the cost to reach the node and Hn stands for the cost getting from the node to the goal. So according to the priorities, the A-star searching technique is counted. Okay. Next one is greedy best first search. It expands the estimated cost to the goals. Okay. It expands the nodes from Fn to the Hn. Same process. What is Fn? Fn is estimated total cost of the path from n to the goal. Hn is total cost to get node to the goal. N is nothing but node to the goals. Okay. The disadvantage of this one is it stucks in the loop. That is, it is not an optimal costing search technique. Next one is the local search algorithms. So they start the perspective solutions and moves to the neighboring solutions. So the valued solution is interrupted at the time before the valued solutions, that is, it depends upon the solution which is created in the before searching techniques. Okay. Next one is hill climbing searching. Now what I am discussing now, these are the local searching techniques. So that searching techniques, at first I have discussed about the data search. Next I have discussed completely about the heuristic searching techniques. Next A-star searching technique. Now we are discussing some local searching techniques. That is first one, local searching technique. Next one is the hill climbing searching techniques. Okay. So it is an iterative method. It is also an iterative method to attempt the problem for a best solution by changing the single elements of the solution, incrementing data, because iterative is nothing but incrementing the data. Okay. The hill climb searching technique is nothing but iterative, right? So the iterative processing is nothing but selecting the loops. Loops is nothing but while incrementing the loop, it will automatically, the loop continues. Okay, just like our for loops. So this is the iterative algorithm that starts the arbitrary solution for number of times to get the best solution, and it is also by incrementally processed, that the solution is incremented by a single element, just like in the loops. Okay, this hill climbing problem returns the state of a local algorithm but with the maximum number of the nodes. Okay, suppose let me explain with one algorithm, step by step process. Our inputs are one problem and next one is the problem A. Suppose the local variables are current and the node, neighbor node and a node. So problem A are the inputs, current, node, neighbor node, and the normal node is the another one. Then the current should be less than the make node initial state from of the problem. The starting solution should be less than what we are making the current nodes. Of course, it is right now. So while creating if you want to create the current node multiple times, it has to show the solution which is better than the previous one. That's why the current should be less than the make nodes before the initial state. And the loop continues until the neighbor is highest value and the value is defined. If the neighbor is the highest, then the current is returned as a state. This is a small part of the algorithm for hill climbing techniques. Okay. The disadvantage of this algorithm is it is not a optimal and not a completeness. That is the only disadvantage of this algorithm. Okay. Next is the local beam searching technique. In this algorithm, we hold k number of the states at any given time and we start these states generating randomly. Suppose I have k number of nodes, okay, or kn. I start with k1, k2, k3 until I will get the success. But the thing is, the successor of these k states are computed by helping the objective function. That is, any successor of the maximum value is considered as an objective function of the algorithm. Then the algorithm will stop. Okay. Otherwise, the initial states and the k number of the successors of the state is considered as the 2k states to place a pool. The pool is nothing but a sorting numerically. Once you have created number of algorithms and you get the number of nodes, let us make one sorting technique so that the highest state will become as the initial state and it continues at the maximum value you have reached. That's why here in this local beam searching technique, we use the sorting algorithm also. Okay. And suppose the k start with the algorithm start with the k randomly generating the states. Here the loop continues. All the nodes will be generated by the successors. If any state is equal to solution, then it returns the state and the continuity of the searching technique will stop. Okay. Next one is the simulated annealing techniques. It is a process of heating and cooling the metal to change the internal structure to modify the physical properties of that. Okay. It is not like that is mentality. That is nothing but it's not like a mental process. It is like a physical process. Okay. When the metal cools, the new structure is seized and the metal retains, then the old one will become as a property of these simulated algorithms. Okay. So simulating processes. So we initially set one temperature high and allow it cools. Slowly the algorithm will proceed. When the temperature is high, the algorithm is allowed to accept the worst solutions with a high frequency. That is called as simulated annealing algorithms. Okay. See, the algorithm is suppose if you initialize 1k equals to 0 and L is an integer number of the variables, then we perform a searching technique when the temperature is less than 0 and it accepts the expressions. Okay. Of course, randomly it is generated. Once it is generated, it keeps on going until you get the criteria to meet our algorithm, that is to perform other task. This is called as simulating algorithms. Okay. Next, we are discussing the traveling salesman problem. Okay. So, all these problems why we are discussing is so that while writing the algorithm, you should select the best and perfect algorithm. Any algorithm you can select, no problem. In this algorithm, the objective is to find the lowest cost that starts from a city, visit all the cities and enters exactly once and ends at the same starting city. That is, this algorithm is specially designed for the traveling salesman problem. Okay. So, I can say this problem is used to generate the Google Maps also. So, here the thing is we have to go in a low level, that is low path, and you should reach the destination. Okay. So first start the n-1 possibility of the solutions. That is number of possibility of solution so that we can get the lowest cost of the city to visit the city. Okay. So at first n-1 possible solutions is considered. Then n is the total number of the cities. Determine the minimum cost by finding the cost of each n minus 1 solution. That is the permutations of the solutions. Now keep all this one to make the minimum cost. So let me explain you the complete overview. Okay. Overview what we have discussed, because this is very important. Okay. At first we discuss about the branches of AI. Then the branches of AI are very important, where and what subset is used for the AI. Okay. Next, second one, we have discussed about the agents. So while discussing about the agent, what we have done here, while discussing the agent, we make when the agent will become, and that is when the agent is considered as a successful agent, we have discussed. Okay. Third thing, so to create the branches or to create the agents, we need the algorithms. We have started the original subject of the AI by algorithms. At first, we discussed the data structure, the commonly used data structure algorithms. Okay. In that, we discussed about the searching algorithm, that is BFS and DFS. That's the minimum. Next, we go for the heuristics algorithms, which are something like very complicated, of course, but they will define the optimality. They will define the optimality and the completeness. That is important here. While discussing about the data structure, we say that some algorithms will not be considered as optimality, and even they won't produce the completeness of the algorithm. But all these algorithms will provide the optimality and completeness. Finally, we discuss some local algorithms, and next we discuss some local algorithms that is easy to understand while creating the gaming. And finally, we discuss something like the physical algorithms. Okay, instead of making, we can develop the algorithm. These are the things we consider everything, and we discuss something like time complexity and space complexity of the algorithm. Make sure that you should get the best and best time complexity and space complexity. That is very important. We'll consider the agent as a perfect. Okay. So all things are very important to generate the AI tool. In the next class, we discuss the further in deeply how the algorithms can be performed. Okay. So this is the class for today. Thank you. Now it's the time for another AI tool.
AI platform is Glide AI, which is very helpful these days because this AI platform helps you create an app for anything. Like if you want to start some startup or any other interaction between your user and stuff, this helps you create an app. So you just have to open it and click here. It is like tied up with many high range companies like Costco, Coca Cola, Volkswagen, etc. So open it and you can start it for free. For that, you just have to sign up and it opens. You can either use to sign up for anything. And you can make an account. The free version helps us create one app. You can select how did you hear about Glide? You can say just YouTube, and you can have many options to build app like work, school, clients. So for now, let's take work. You can choose up to many people you want. For now, just choose just me. You can take anything you want. I just made this account to show how to do that. Select what your job level is, and you can, and it helps you make an app now. Okay. It is asking you why do you want to create this app? Why do you want to create this app? Like you can choose whatever you want, or you can just summarize what you want to do. For now, just take an event app, and it creates an app for you, just like that. It shows how it looks like in a phone and how it looks like in a desktop. For example, this is the desktop view, and this is the mobile view. So it made an app called Offset Orbit for me, and it helps me organize whatever I want. So let's make a glide. And when I open my app, it shows what I can do. It helps me click it. And here you can see if I open workflows, I can check what's like my app's full potential. Like it can create a row, like it can create so many rows every night. And AI email extractor, it can extract data from an email and add it to my tables. And you can also put an AI email responder, which responds to any email you get, and webhook instigator. It helps me. These are like the not the free version. If you wanna create helps me add a webhook to my table. Actually, these are not the free version. If you wanna access to the maker version, you can pay, and like it shows you what I can do in the maker version. It has many other features. So if you go to settings, you can see if I want to change the name and icon, appearance, you can change it to any other colors, and we can access where the how the app should work. Is it public or private or any other stuff. And you can also add other links, like if you're working with an external agent, you can also add those. And you can also set up the user email address if you wanna, like if you to have an access to contact. If you have anything, like if you can put up and sign in into your apps and also manage data. And going to the layout section, we can put up schedules, documents, and calendars. Like you can put up something like this, and use the profile. You can see what you wanna ask them, like your like their name and other stuff. And if you go to data, you can add tables. Like if you wanna put up a blank table like this, it opens up for you. It has, or if you wanna import data, you can import or put an Excel sheet like this. It helps you have this Excel data, but for that you have to pay. It's for it is also not the free version. And if you're open, it's okay. You can actually, yeah. Next, if you open up dashboard, you can see how to get started. Like they also have given you some instructions to the glide, how to use it, how to get started, data layout, and edit everything. You can also check how many members are there in your business and in your app. You can also invite people. You can copy link and invite people, and it also helps how much users have been there, any updates, and how many rows can be done. All this building, if you start something, that you can also have some templates if you want to do it with theme and stuff. You can also put up items like this, and if you want, you can also change the layouts of the app. So you can put whatever you want and everything. And so it also gives you the idea of data of what you're doing in your app and doing. And if I go to settings, it can also help me see what I can do with my app, change the name or logo, use any artificial intelligence and public review and stuff. You can also use developer tools. And if you want, you can also delete it if you don't want to do anything with this. So that is pretty much how you can use the Glide AI. And Glide AI is basically a platform which helps you create an app for your business or anything, or if you want to do anything and share it with people. You can invite people using this, and you can also send. If you open, it just opens up. Yeah. So that is how you can use this Glide AI app. And if you like the video, please subscribe and share it. Thank you.
సో చూసారు కదా టుడే క్లాస్. ఇవాల్టి క్లాస్లో మీకు ఏజెంట్స్ కానీ బ్రాంచెస్ కానీ ఎక్కడైనా దొరుకుతుంది, కానీ సర్చింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్ వెరీ 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 ఇంపార్టెంట్. సర్చింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్ అకార్డింగ్ టు డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్లో మనం కంపల్సరీ డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ నేర్చుకోవాలి. దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ టైమ్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ, స్పేస్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ద సర్చింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎప్పుడైతే మీ టైమ్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ, దట్ ఈస్ బెస్ట్ టైమ్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ అండ్ బెస్ట్ స్పేస్ కాంప్లెక్సిటీ ఇస్తారో, then only your artificial intelligence tool is validated. Okay, ఇది మర్చిపోకండి. Okay, now I hope you learned something from this video. If you learned something from this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.